The fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach has concluded, surpassing all expectations. It turned out to be an incredible battle, with pro reactions highlighting its intensity and excitement.
What'd you think about the performance? You thought it was a fair decision?
Yeah, definitely, man. I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all wasn't expecting, right in the power. His combinations as well. He definitely came to fight, man. He got great skills, and it was a great fight overall.
I mean, you gotta understand, can't underestimate the underdog, bro. He's hungry, you know what I mean? They weren't giving him no credit. They were making it see it was a slouch, you could run over. You can't do that in boxing. Anything can happen. You can have a great night, believe that. You gotta believe in your soul, and I think the kid was in there with his soul tonight. It was a good fight, don't get me wrong. And to me, it could have went either way.
Either way.
Could have went either way.
So you okay with a draw?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, a draw is not a loss or a win. For the fighters, it's like...
No. I know you're not okay with the draw, Pilot. Let me make sure I clear that up. You're okay with the draw in this fight?
I think they did right. It could have went either way. They chose a draw and one judge. So I think it's cool. I mean, they want to run it back, they can, but I won't do it. I just keep moving.
In the early rounds, it was as though Tank was doing what he does and setting up a possible knockout or a probable knockout, which was what most people expected to see. And then over the course of the next several rounds, you saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont Roach, actually got stronger, moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting for Tank. He got a little desperate in the late rounds and began throwing much more than is normally the case. It created action, it created excitement, there was tension in the audience. It was a memorable fight, and I want to see a rematch as rapidly as a rematch can be made.
They said majority draw. They cheated Roach. Roach got robbed. A majority draw. They cheated Roach. They cheated Roach. Look at Jake. Everybody know they cheated him. Everybody know they cheated Roach. Everybody know they cheated Roach. Roach got robbed, and everybody knows it. And it was a 10-8 while they robbed him. They robbed Roach. Roach beat Tank. They robbed him. Rematch right away. They robbed him.
Definitely an off night for Tank, but Lamont Roach is the guy, man. He showed up, and Tank gave him a tremendous amount of respect in the fight, and we saw why. I mean, he's a great counterpuncher, he's very high boxing IQ. He always says, I hit harder than people think, I hit harder than my record says. He stunned Tank several times. Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont had the better chin. So it's all relative. So if Tank hits real hard, but the guy can take it doesn't really matter. And I thought Roach was brilliant tonight. He had a good game plan, but those early rounds are what haunts him. He's gonna lay up at night that he wasn't a little more aggressive early on, because early on there wasn't much going on. There was time for him to take places for him to steal those rounds. And obviously he didn't. I want to see what the official scorecard breakdown was and how they had everybody in which direction and which rounds. But super close fight. I could have edged it for Tank. Lamont obviously had great rounds, and we would wobble Tank a few times. He got wobbled himself one time with a right hook, but I don't know, man. Roach won the story.
Roach won the story.
Roach won the story. He didn't get the win, but he won the story.
Who you got won? Lamont.
You got Lamont what? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
You still want the Tank Davis fight?
What?
You still want the Tank Davis fight? What went wrong? Take out a little steam or a fire out of me? Or is it still the same?
We're going to see. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this. So.
Shakur, what went wrong for Gervonta in this fight? Just because, could we say maybe because Lamont didn't come in, they really...
I think he got overconfident. I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was going to go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My confidence been up. I've been knew I was...
What'd you think of the fight, man? Are you surprised by the outcome? It was a close fight.
I'm surprised the way Lamont fought. I knew Lamont was going to come to fight. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. He did a good job. He fought a great fight.
What went wrong with Tank Davis? I mean, I was
What was wrong with him? Every night in boxing is not your best. You don't need to, but at least you got the
Would you
draw.
like to see a rematch of this or jump into a fight with Shakur Stevenson?
You know, whatever they want to do. You think it was a draw? I don't know. It was a good fight.
Hey man, what you think? The crowd didn't seem to like the draw. Did you think that was the right call?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I love Gervonta. Obviously, we come from a lot of the same shit. But I love boxing, and I seen Lamont Roach outclass Gervonta Davis tonight.
Yeah.
And I ain't against your tank. I'm just a boxer. If you ask me, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I thought Lamont did enough to receive the victory.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't go his way. It was a good fight. Boxing fans won. Shit. I think if anytime you take a knee or touch the canvas, glove touch, and it's due to a punch, or even if you hurt and you go down, that's a knockdown.
Really in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that, and I'm just glad I got to show it. Honestly, I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate True Boxing Media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won, and I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
Ahead of the fight, industry experts shared their predictions. Renowned sports commentator Al Bernstein weighed in, stating that he saw no chance for Lamont Roach to defeat Gervonta Davis in their highly anticipated matchup.
Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis.
Richardson Hitchens coach, Lenny Wilson, also offered his insights on the potential matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. He provided a detailed analysis of possible outcomes, breaking down key factors and strategies that could significantly influence the fight's result.
I think that if Lamont Roach got a good chin, you dig it, then it could go the distance. If you don't, Tank is going to put him out. But it can also go the distance because Tank know how to box too. I've watched him in the ring. I've watched him in the gym. I see what he can do. You understand? So, but if I had to bet my money, I'm gonna bet my money on Tank.
Stephen A. Smith echoed similar concerns about Lamont Roach, expressing doubts about his chances in the fight. He suggested that the outcome could mirror what happened in Frank Martin's bout with Gervonta Davis.
I think Roach is too small. I think Roach is too small. And that's my issue. I'm not questioning the skill set or anything like that. But it was similar to Frank Martin. You know what I mean? This guy comes in there and you got 18 fights. And I remember watching that pre-fight press conference when he was annoying Gervonta Davis so much and he cussed by accident. Excuse me. He cussed by accident. He was like, ooh, making this up. He heard me in sparring, and I knew Gervonta was going to come for him, and sure enough, that's what he did. Walked right towards him from round one.
Trainer Derek Boy Ennis analyzed the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., confidently picking Davis to win, strongly believing that he would emerge victorious in their highly anticipated matchup.
I think it'd be a good fight, man. Him and Tank. I think it'd be a real good fight, man. You know what I mean? I think I would have to go with Tank, though. I would have to go with Tank. You know what I mean? But I think it's a real good fight. You know what I mean?
Derek Andis issued a stern warning to Lamont Roach ahead of the fight with Gervonta Davis, advising him to avoid exchanging punches with Tank. He emphasized that Davis is sharper and more skilled inside the ring. Andis highlighted Davis's exceptional fighting attributes, stressing how difficult it is to face him. He advised Roach to avoid trading punches, suggesting that instead, he should try to tie Davis up and frustrate him, walking him around the ring and waiting for an opportunity to drop his guard. However, Andis acknowledged the challenge of facing Davis, noting that Tank sets up opponents with a variety of shots, making him dangerous. He pointed out that if Roach isn't able to land punches, he'll be in trouble. Andis ultimately predicted a knockout victory for Davis, believing that Tank's versatility and sharpness would overwhelm Roach. Mikey Garcia also weighed in on the fight, praising Davis's style and skill set. With his wealth of experience, Garcia recognized the formidable nature of Davis as an opponent, noting that Davis's blend of experience and technique makes him a serious threat in the ring.
Honestly, I think Tank is one of the very best fighters, definitely in the lightweight division. I don't think Roach would be a huge threat for Tank. Tank is very talented, very skilled, and also very experienced at this point now. He's fought and seen pretty much every style there is.
Mikey Garcia believed Lamont Roach wouldn't pose a significant threat to Gervonta Davis, highlighting Davis's superior skills and knockout power. He emphasized that Tank's ability to deliver devastating punches makes him a dangerous force in the ring. Garcia praised Davis's tremendous punching power, noting that his confidence and demeanor make him even more formidable. He said, "His power is tremendous, and he's got the confidence to do it. You can just see it in his demeanor. He knows he's going to go out there and execute." Garcia expressed respect for Roach, but didn't hesitate to label Davis a beast, confidently predicting a Davis victory. He credited Tank's impressive track record of past victories as the foundation for his unwavering belief in Davis's dominance in the fight.
Again, not to disrespect his opponent Roach, but I think Tank is a beast, and he's been proving it every fight. He probably will win this fight as well. Again, it's hard to say and go against Tank. He's proven himself.
Before the fight, Rolly Romero shared his thoughts on the matchup, praising Gervonta Davis for his impressive boxing career and exceptional skills. Having faced Davis in the past, Romero expressed respect for Tank's talent and impact on the sport. His comments added to the growing excitement and anticipation for the fight, as many were eager to see how Davis would perform against Lamont Roach.
I can't go against Tank on that, man. The dude coming up, and Tank, Tank top 3 pound for pound fighter.
With Lamont Roach as his opponent, boxing pundits believe Gervonta Davis could face a real challenge. Jermaine Ortiz, while acknowledging Davis's dominance, noted that Roach could present a serious threat. Ortiz pointed out that Tank had previously knocked out smaller opponents, but against Roach, he would likely face a tougher struggle in the ring, making this fight a more challenging test for Davis.
We'll see. I just think that Davis really got that knockout power. He doesn't have a lot of output. He's fighting somebody who's closer to his height. I think it would be more of a fight. I think the last time he fought somebody shorter than him was Pitbull, and he tried to box him and he came out. A lot of people didn't like that fight in the sense of, I assume people thought Pitbull won the fight or it was just a closer fight.
Reg's Progress also weighed in on the upcoming fight, expressing his belief that Gervonta Davis would have the advantage over Lamont Roach. He said, "It's hard to go against Tank, bro. It's hard to go against Tank. Lamont Roach seems real confident, but a lot of people seem confident. It's tough to go against Tank, especially when they get hit by that power." Further adding to his thoughts, Reg shared his prediction for the fight, suggesting that it would go the distance. He noted that the outcome could resemble Davis's fight with Pitbull Cruz, with a similar dynamic unfolding in the ring, making for a challenging yet competitive battle.
I feel a distance. I feel Tank distance. Yeah, I feel Tank, but distance in a controversial fight. How about that? Tank distance and people in a controversial, something like kind of like how Pitbull was, like that.
Clarissa Shields shared her thoughts on the upcoming fight, urging people not to underestimate Lamont Roach. She praised his fighting career and emphasized that Roach should not be overlooked in the matchup.
I don't know why everybody's kind of sleeping on Lamont, but he has a decorated amateur career too. He's a very pretty kid. He's very skilled. Tank is Tank. And when I say Tank is Tank, I mean like he's a bad man.
While some critics questioned the matchup, WBC featherweight champion Stephen Fulton shared his perspective, defending it as a must-watch showdown. He emphasized that despite the criticism, the fight was valuable, acknowledging the impressive careers of both Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. Fulton highlighted why this matchup was considered exciting, stressing the significance of both fighters' accomplishments in the sport.
People that criticize the ones that don't know the history between the two, or that don't know certain fighters in certain weight classes, I can say. But guys like me and everybody else that came up in my era, as far as like the amateur stuff, I want to see the fight. Like I think it's a good fight because I know both of them and they got history. We all know of each other, things like that. So.
Further analyzing the fight, Stephen Fulton predicted that the first 4 to 5 rounds would be closely contested, but after that, he believed Gervonta "Tank" Davis would begin to dominate Lamont Roach. Fulton also raised concerns about Roach's chin, fueling ongoing debates about whether Roach could truly defeat a highly skilled fighter like Davis.
I think it's going to be a really close fight early, probably the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then I can see Tank coming in and probably putting him away. I'm not sure about Lamont's chin, but we'll see.
Echoing a similar sentiment, former featherweight champion Gary Russell Jr. favored Gervonta "Tank" Davis in the fight. He referenced their previous encounter in the amateurs, where Tank had the upper hand, as evidence for predicting Davis's victory. Russell acknowledged that the fight would be tougher in the early rounds, but believed that Tank would secure a knockout in the later rounds against Lamont Roach.
I think Tank. I don't think in an actual fight you can never count anyone out based on the fact they got to get in there. Anything can happen in the fight. You always got to keep that as an option. But if I was to choose, they already competed twice before in the amateurs. Tank beat them twice before in the amateurs. Now it's professionals. The difference is it's smaller gloves and no headgear. You feel me? So I think it'd be interested in the first half of the fight. But I think on the later half or the back end, I think Tank will probably get it.
Prior to the fight, Lamont Roach faced intense scrutiny, with many critics doubting his ability to challenge Gervonta "Tank" Davis. However, coach Stephen "Breadman" Edwards stepped in to provide a more nuanced perspective on Roach's chances. While Edwards praised Roach as a talented fighter, he also pointed out what could have made his outlook for the fight even more promising. Reflecting on Roach's loss to Jamel Herring, Edwards acknowledged it as an unexpected setback. Despite the odds against him, Coach Breadman believed Roach had evolved into a much better fighter since that defeat, making him a legitimate threat to Davis.
I don't know. I think that the people from D.C. know that he's a good fighter. He came up to Philly. He has a good reputation. He's a good fighter. I really like Lamont Roach. Cool dude, good fighter. I think what hurts Lamont Roach, honestly, is he lost to Jamel Herring.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing that kind of hurts people's outlook on this fight. That's my personal opinion. I think that if he didn't, not that a loss is a big deal, but the loss to Jamel Herring, because Herring lost so bad to Shakur Stevens and I think the Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah, Jermaine Ortiz, I believe. And then it's kind of like looking at it like, damn, Herring is not on the level of the Shakurs and the Tanks and the Teofimos. Even though he was an Olympian and a world champion, he's not considered to be that level of special. And for Lamont to lose to him, it kind of like the opinion of the critics and stuff is like, man, he don't stand a chance to get that. But they don't understand that Lamont could have got better since that fight. I'm a Lamont Roach fan. I would love to see him do well in the fight, but asking me, is he going to win? I don't think he's going to win. Tank Davis is special, bro. Special fighter. I'm just telling you, he's special. If his resume was a little bit better, we'd be talking about him as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's special. And whereas I think Lamont Roach is very, very good. He's a solid. He's the kind of guy you call solid. Solid order. Now, can the solid guy be the special guy? Yeah, if he's having his night. having his night and everything goes his way, and he fights a little bit outside of his skin, a little bit over his head, and everything goes his way, you can do it. It can happen. We've seen it happen before. I mean, we saw George Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez, right? George Kambosos is a solid guy, but everything lined up for him. He was able to win that fight. But if you're asking me who's going to win, I would say that Tank.
While predicting the winner, Coach Breadman ultimately named Gervonta Tank Davis. He explained his reasoning, expressing deep admiration for Davis as a truly special fighter. Although he acknowledged Lamont Roach as a solid and capable competitor, Breadman emphasized that Davis's exceptional skill and fighting stature made him the favorite in this matchup. While he believed Roach would put up a good fight and make it competitive, Breadman saw no chance for Roach to secure the win, confidently stating that Davis would emerge victorious in the end.